Have you ever wondered why you suffer major losses when you try to use this fucking strategy in trading? And it is scalping. So let me tell you, because I'm the best of the best, we are all hunters in the market. To the scalpers, you guys are opting to go and hunt down animals using a spear. Fucking stupid, but it works at times. Me on the other hand, as a hunter, I prefer to use grenades, I prefer to use booby traps. I really do not like to put myself in that kind of danger anymore. But if you have the balls for it, you have the physique, the mental capacity, the precision to kill a tiger with a spear, you go on about it, my brothers. Nevertheless, if you have understood this risk, now let me share with you how do we do it. Because at the end of this video, you are supposed to know how to enter, how to exit, where to select your zones, and then become a legendary scalper. So, rule number 1, to successfully scalp consistently. Let me repeat that again. To successfully scalp consistently, what you need to do is you have to be consistent in the way you choose your risks. And when we talk about risks in this format as hunters, you have to choose the animal you are choosing to kill. So to put it into a perspective, only trade pairs that have a big overall movement in a day, because it's not hard to get 20 pips out of a pair that runs 300 pips a day, but it is very hard to get 20 pips from a pair that gets only 50-60 pips a day. So in a grander scheme of things, yes, as a scalper, you have to be okay with letting go the ideology of 60, 80, 40, 100 pips from your dictionary. Because if you choose to enter the realm of scalping, your mind, rain or shine, is 20-30 pips. 20-30 pips. Even though if you know this zone can give you 200 pips, you cannot break your discipline and your consistency. So if you are okay with all this, I assure you your scalping journey will be fantastic. The issue with my failure back in the day was, in life we have to build our confidence. So every time we hit a successful 20 pips, we are bringing our euphoria up, our motivation up. And what happens is, the more times we take the trade, suddenly out of nowhere, the devil comes. You've been getting 20 pips consistently, my brother Cloud. Why don't you try 80 pips now? But at that whisper, he gave me the right zone. But what happens after is, not only I believe I'm a trader that can trade 5 to 10 times a day, but suddenly now out of nowhere I believe I can trade 5 to 10 times a day, trying to get 80 pips a day. That's when the devil kills you. It gives you a glimpse to the heaven before it fucks you up, like the Adam Apple story. Take note on this. To be successful in scalping, only trade big movement pairs. My recommendation is Nasdaq, US30 and gold. Maybe Bitcoin as well. This 4 you can't go wrong. And I repeat to you, this 4 you can't go wrong. Avoid scalping the major pairs, the soft currencies, Euro USD, UCAD, USHEF, Euro JPY. That bitches only move 50-60 pips a day, max 100 pips. How are you going to successfully obtain 4 to 5 entries of 20 pips? Don't break the law. Understand? When you have done selecting the animals you want to hunt, be it a bear, be it a rhino, be it a tiger, really depends on your appetite, what your wife wants to eat. What you do next is only trade in a fresh zone. What do you mean by that, Mr. Cloud? Don't worry, I don't want to take too much of your time. Let me put to you in a video format what is a fresh zone. Let's jump into the iPad. So now, once you have choose your animals to hunt, as of today's reference, I will use US30 to make you guys understand the format. So like I said before, if you want to scalp, only scalp in fresh zones. What do I mean by fresh? What does that mean? A fresh zone mean there's 2 ways you can describe it. For example, 1, a zone whereby it does a fucking strong breakout. So for example, this zone dropped for almost 500 pips and it has yet to be tested. So meaning we have not only picked a very powerful zone, we have picked a zone that is still fresh. So to obtain your 20-30 pips from there, it's easy. Because we know if it's a buy even, if it was supposed to break the blue box up here and spike, there will be that 20 pips first. Agree? And for example, another concept. Like this guy over here. So this is an M30 engulfing sell, and I said one of the best friends for scalping is engulfing. This engulfing sell was formed, and what happened? Although it didn't take a long time for it to retest, but what it did was it took a sharp drop from the point of the confirmation was done. How many pips? It dropped for 190 pips first, 200 pips. That's when you can classify it as a fresh zone. So what happens when the price comes back into the box? Look at what happened. It pokes it and it drops back. So like I said, sometimes it drops 1,000 pips, sometimes it drops 100 pips. But if you want to maintain the consistency as a scalper, you only take what you wanted. You don't go out as a spear hunter to have an idea to hunt a chicken, and when you saw a tiger, you feel like you could stab it. That is why many scalpers fail. In the midst of trading, you exited your plan. Don't do that. Focus on the plan, then let it be. If it drops, if it flies, if it goes, let it be. Understand? So looking back at this video, regardless of where the charts are in the future, first element is you need a strong breakout. And then you calculate what is the pips of the breakout. For the first zone up here, it was 500 pips. So I know, cut my throat. Put a line here, 34181.6 on US30. In the future, when it comes, it touch that line, it will drop minimum 20 pips. If it shoots down 1,000 pips, that's not my problem. I'm a hunter that hunts my specific animal only. And then same concept over here. You analyze the zone. You calculate how many pips did it drop from this zone. And then you see, if it's beyond 100 pips, there is enough power to give you another 20 if it comes back there. The issue with re-entering from a recent breakout zone is when the distance between the breakout is very small. For example, from here, it breaks out. When you calculate the pips, it's only 30 pips. Then somehow, when the price comes back in, you try to re-enter here to get another 30 pips. That's stupid. You already know you are a spear hunter. Why expose yourself to the market? So if you can stay to this rule, isolate zones that gives more than 50-60 pips, preferably above 100 pips. If it's still fresh, never been poked yet, no candle have touched it yet, just stand by over there, you will get your 20 pips. Cut my throat if I'm wrong. So as hunters, once you have selected the prey that you wish to devour for your dinner, what you must do next is understand the limitations to the tools you are using. If you are using a knife, a spear, maybe elastic, don't dream of killing an eagle. So meaning, it can be your worst enemy if you try to use a knife to go kill a tiger because you don't understand the tool that is with you. So as scalpers, avoid these 3 damaging indicators or techniques. Number 1, EMA is my best friend, but it's never your best friend in scalping. So never use EMA in scalping alone. Better to use engulfing. Secondly, never use trend line in scalping. Horrible decision. Better to use Fibonacci. And thirdly, never use stochastic in scalping. Better to use BBMA, Bollinger Band moving average, or just a Bollinger Band. Those 3 can help you in your hunting expedition. So set out your goals, set out your fresh zones, my fellow hunters, and make sure you bring about the good meal to your family. Nevertheless, this is a small video about scalping to clear up some air about the bullshit that the seafoods have been teaching you out there. Feedbacks are really appreciated, so write down the comment. I really need to know what should I do next. I'm not a YouTuber yet, but believe me, in a year, I'll be the best Forex YouTuber around.